Hi, Chris.
Hello there.
Right. So, Chris, this is our time to talk about something remarkable. I think it's remarkable that you have done. And you contacted me about, God, it's probably nearly 2 years ago now, about doing a wing walk because you do various things from time to time um, for various charities.
I do, yes.
And one of the things you were doing this particular year was a wing walk where you wanted to support PACT because your son, um, do you want me to mention his name or would you prefer his name not to be mentioned?
No, that's fine. You can mention his name.
Okay, so your son Artemis has gone through a bit of a journey and he finds things quite difficult.
He does.
One of the things he struggles with is anxiety. And you wanted to put yourself in his shoes and really try and understand what does anxiety do to a person. You've experienced it a little bit, but every minute of every day, is that really something you've experienced? And you thought, I could try and see if I can do that, and I'll do a wing walk for the benefit. Now, if you can explain, I said it's nearly 2 years ago. It should have only been a few months from beginning to um, getting it up and running and things like that. But it didn't quite go to plan, did it?
No, it certainly did not go to plan. No, and I think I got a taste of anxiety that Artemis endures every day of his life for a lot longer than I bargained for. Quite a lot, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
They said be careful what you wish for, don't they?
They certainly do, yeah. I came to yourself because I'd like to give back to charities, especially ones that have helped my family and myself to be able to provide for his needs as well. Because, like I say, he does have a very complex needs with one of many of his traits that he has. And I thought, oh, it's my 40th year. I'm going to do something amazing. I'm going to do a wing walk, but I am going to do it for charity. So, yep, it's okay. I'm going to be on a plane for 10 minutes. The anxiety is, I'm going to experience some of it, but not a lot of it. I get a taste of it, and things. But that really didn't go to plan at all. 8 months later, we finally got to do it. And that was no fault of myself or the aircraft operators. It's just the plane that you go on is 80 years old. It's a biplane. It can only go up in certain weather conditions, and unfortunately, the British weather has a tendency not to play ball. And yeah, it went on a lot longer than I envisioned, and it
Yeah.
did have a lot more anxiety. But as you rightly said, throughout the adversity of having to wait those extra months, it did teach me an awful lot of how Artemis has to deal with anxiety every day. And yeah, it's not the nicest of experiences, I would say, but it's definitely changed me and my attitudes towards Artemis as well.
Okay. The British weather, you say, played a big part in spoiling the plans.
Yeah.
But it wasn't once and it wasn't twice. It was about 5 times.
Yes, we did it on the sixth attempt.
Sixth
Yes.
attempt, yeah.
Yes.
And that is, in anybody's standard, um, horrendous to go put yourself through that. Most people would think, do you know what? It's telling me not to do it. I'd have been saying, the universe is saying, don't do it.
Yes.
Um, and I would have been very glad to have pulled out. I wouldn't put myself in that situation for
There was times where I was thinking of like, that's it, something is telling me that this isn't going to happen. But then, like you say, you get home, you look at Artemis, and I think he has to go through, and I think to myself, no, I can do it. It's only another a booking. It's going to take some time for that booking to get here, but it's going to happen eventually. And you have to grit and determine it, which is what he has to do every day. So, like I say, I did learn a lot
yeah.
and experience a lot from that. I'm glad I don't have to do it again. But like I say, Artemis has to go through that, pretty much every day of his life. And it was probably him that spurred me on
Yeah.
to
It,
to go for that and keep going.
yeah. And did the journey also put the rest of the family through a bit of anxiety and a taste of
Oh
what
yeah.
Artemis goes through? Because
Oh,
I don't think it
definitely. Yeah.
just affected you, did it?
No, it didn't affect me. It affected all the family, really, including my wife. Obviously, she's. I think she would have liked it over and done with rather quickly instead of having to wait on it. It did cause, a lot of, distraught almost in the family. Artemis having to accept that, it wasn't going to happen because you only got the message the day before, 4 p.m. the day before, that it was going to happen because they leave it literally to the last minute to make sure that the weather forecast is as accurate as possible before they can do so. You sat there waiting, you're looking outside, it's raining, it's blowing a gale, you know full well it's going to be cancelled, but you have to wait for that message to come through, and then you have to tell Artemis that, I'm sorry, Artemis, but the weather isn't going to be good enough. Have to get it rebooked in, tell the wider family that it's not going to happen, and then tell all the people that have actively looking forward to see me actually do it and make sure I do it, and actually giving money towards Pact and a good cause, and having to explain to them that, yet again, we've had another cancellation and I've had to get another booking. And to be fair, a lot of people have been very understanding, which again, that has its own anxiety as well, because I'm doing it for a cause as well. There's always that thought of, well, I've got to, keep people in the loop. I've got to keep Pact in the loop. I've got to keep all the people that have donated in the loop, and things like that. And so that had the anxiety as well, which I didn't really expect or didn't actually think about either as well. So there was quite a lot of anxiety on a lot of different levels.
Mm, mm. And
There
when you think
was.
about the last minute cancellation and how our children normally deal with last minute changes, they just don't like it.
Oh, yes, I
I think
can
it's,
completely understand that. Yes.
yeah.
Before, I could never really understand it. But being in this situation now, those last minute cancellations, yeah, one of the cancellations, I was so annoyed at myself because I couldn't get annoyed at the company. I was annoyed at myself. I ended up digging up the front garden, which Elle sort of raised an eyebrow and went, okay, we'll let him vent off a lot of steam. So Artie and I went outside in the front garden, and we ended up digging up the front garden. We did because I was so, I don't know, angry isn't the word, but you get so frustrated, and it boils over type thing. So yeah, whereas before I struggled to understand it with Artemis last minute cancellations and how he deals with it. With the anxiety around a wing walk, yeah, I can begin to understand how and why an autistic child does find change difficult, and especially at last minute as well.
So this last minute change, how did Artemis deal with that? Because he's excited to see Dad on a plane tomorrow, and
Yes.
we're not going. Did that
Yeah.
cause bigger problems for him than we expected, or was it, well, it's not me, it's Dad, so therefore it doesn't really affect me?
Well, to be fair, I mean, he took it a lot better than I expected to. In fact, I think on the whole, I took it a lot worse than Artemis did. But Artemis likes his aeroplanes. That's probably one of the reasons why we chose a wing wall, because he likes his aeroplanes. He likes his Lancaster bombers, his Red Arrows, his Spitfires, and Hurricanes. So he's very big into the aircraft display niche area, if you like.
Mhm.
So he's fully aware that when he goes to air shows around Lincolnshire and Duxford and places of those, he knows full well that that plane is scheduled to fly, but he also knows that if it doesn't fly, there's a good reason for it. For example, the aircraft hasn't been, has a fault on it and things like that. So if it doesn't fly, he will always say to me, it's safer on the ground than it is in the sky. And that's how I've always put it to him. So to be fair to Artemis, he took it a lot better than I did. And he just used to turn around and say, well, never mind, it's safer on the ground than in the sky. Whereas I'm thinking, I'd rather just get it over and done with and be gone with it. But he was actually taking a level-headed approach to it, which, to be fair, was a good thing for him, because I was expecting him to literally fly off the handles and like, go really quite get cross about it and get quite frustrated. But to be fair, he was the level-headed one of all of us, really, which
Right.
is quite surprising, really. It was, but he did understand it. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it was a lot more difficult for him to understand when he looked out the window and it was bright sunshine. But
Yes.
obviously, it's not sunshining in Manchester where we were scheduled to fly on that particular weekend, and that sort of thing. He goes, well, the weather conditions are fine here, but they're not. Those ones he did struggle with. But when it was, bad weather in Lincoln, as well as it's bad weather in Manchester or Leeds or Shuttleworth near Bedford, where we was scheduled to go as well, he looks out the window and go, yeah, it's better to be on the ground than in the sky. So he did get those things. He did, which was right, which we found very surprising. We was expecting to have problems with those, but to be fair, he took it, and I think that a lot of that is because of his joy of aircraft and the fact that he likes to see them in the sky and things like that. So he gets to see the aircraft in pieces and things when he goes around museums and things like that. So he does get to see that side of it, which was which is good. I could have just taken a leaf out of his book in that respect.
Yeah, but the anxieties just got hold of you. Now,
It did, yeah.
I mentioned it being a journey, and it was a bigger journey than what we thought, because I was hoping to join you in Manchester
Yes.
at one point. I was then hoping to join you in the second to last place that you were going,
Yeah.
and couldn't because of the cancellation. But the last place you ended up, there was just no way I would have been able to make that.
Yeah.
So let's go from when you booked it the very first time. Where
Yeah.
were you scheduled to do your wing walk?
When we were scheduled in August of last year, I think it was, we were scheduled to go to Leeds Airport.
Mm-hmm.
We were, and that was the closest. And yes, my immediate family and my extended family were all going to come, and we was all going to enjoy the moment together. And like you say, it's the last time, the sixth time, which was the 28th of June of this year. I found out on the Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. that the space was available in Devon, and that it was going ahead. So it was pretty much a frantic rush to get all the way to Devon on Saturday night, and then get up fairly early on Sunday to do the wing walk and then travel back. So yeah, it was quite an adventure, and we tried at Leeds several times. We tried Shuttleworth, which is near Bedford. Unfortunately, the runway flooded out at that time towards the back end of last year. And this year, the operator only managed to get a schedule at Manchester, but Manchester isn't regarded very well for its weather, which we found out to our delight. And fortunately, we did get the last minute cancellation in Devon, and we got there. But we did it. We did it, and it was an extraordinary experience. I'd highly recommend it to anybody. Not the anxiety waiting for it, but it was an exciting thing, and it was exciting as well when I got down as well that Artemis gave me a very big hug, and he was ever so proud. He really enjoyed it. He did, and he had a big smile on his face, and he was really happy that I'd managed to do it.
Yeah. Well, all I can say from PACT is a huge, huge thank you. The dedication to get this done and to support us is just unbelievable. And
it's been a privilege. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing the video as well. So you have the moustache. I hope you
Yes.
had the leather helmet to go with it.
I'm afraid I didn't. I was tempted to get one, but I never got around to getting it. But no, we've without PACT have been an enormous help for us as a family and for Artemis. We were in a bit of a tight squeeze when we first was introduced to PACT, and PACT have been very helpful. So this is my way of saying thank you very much. I struggle to give time with work commitments and Artemis's needs as well as family needs. So this is the way that I can give back to a just cause, so that Pact can help other families and have that financial need to be able to help other people. And even if it just helps one person, then that's a success.
Yeah.
Because without Pact, I wouldn't have been able to get Artemis where he is today. So no, it's me that says thank you to all of Pact and to all the parents that contribute, use the facilities and things like that. So no, thank you all very much. It's been a privilege.
Can people still donate? Is that button closed now? Or
No, it's still open. I can keep it open for a few more weeks. There's no real time limit on it, but I will have to close it. So I will probably close it around mid-August. I probably will do. I will find a date for you, and I will give you the date. I will do, but yeah, it can still remain open. If anybody does wish to donate, it is going towards Pact and their families of and children who are affected by autism. Yeah.
Brilliant. So they can donate directly onto your page that we have
Yep.
on. And if they're not able to do that, they can donate through the Pact donate button as well.
Correct. Yeah.
There. And if so, I will let you know who has done that. But
Yeah.
once again, thank you very much. And I'm really pleased you finally got to do it and you had a great experience at the long run. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I shall look to how to stop this again.